growing up like the way I did, poor. All of those things made you much more hungry for success. When you grow up like that, you don't shy away from anything. I mean, working to me never, oh my God, I have to work. I loved working.
Nothing mattered. It was just, I got to train every day. There was that kind of a discipline.
My hunger and my desire and my fire, nothing could stop me. I think that comes from growing up the way I did.
I was also very fortunate that I had great parents.
Father really contributed a lot to my hunger. He meant so well, and he meant to push me.
Father gave me the discipline. He always said, no matter what you do, son, you got to be useful. And my mother gave me the love and the care.
15, I already had to pay to live at home. The majority of times it was negative. Some days it's fantastic and everything goes well. And the reason why I said plus and minus, because there was the minus, but the positive is that is what gave me the fire. The more you create resistance, the stronger that person gets. And the stronger your character gets, and the more you can endure.
Anything is possible.
The only time you find out how complex the job is when you sit there. There's no training class. And until you really get hit by challenges that are unexpected. Some people are born with a certain talent. I had a feel for business. You have a nose for it or you don't. I would save every single dollar that I made. And I didn't make much money at all. I had the courage to do it. There was not one single dollar left. And that's what I always did. I feel inside me that I have to go and do that.
I wasn't always successful.
How can I inspire other people to train?
The more organic you are, the better chance you have to shine.
Many sides that we all have comes out as we get older. So then you discover that there's feminine side, masculine side, artistic side, giving side, selfish side, powerful side, there's a weak side. It's another side of me now that I discover, which is caring to help other people.
Great joy when you find what you want to do. That is the key thing. I'm a strong believer that you should get all the help that is out there. Think about it all the time. What can you do to give something back? First rule of success. The first rule of success is to have a vision. You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere. So I was searching the bodybuilding magazine that had Reg Park on the cover. And on the cover it said how Reg Park became the Hercules star. So I bought the magazine, I took it home and I read it over and over from the front page to the back. It had everything in there, how he trained, how he was working out in Leeds, how he worked out every day for 3-4 hours and became the strongest man of Europe, and then eventually Mr. Universe, and how he was discovered to play a starring role in Hercules. I read that and I said to myself, wow, this is the blueprint for my life. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to become a bodybuilding champion just like Reg Park. I want to get into movies just like Reg Park. And I want to make millions of dollars and be rich and famous. Do you know how great it felt that I knew where I was going? Imagine the majority of people don't know where they're going. I knew where I was going. I was so relieved because when you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy. In America, for instance, 74% hate their job. The majority of people don't like what they're doing. If you think about it, only a quarter of the people really enjoy what they're doing. That is unbelievable if you think about it. So I felt so blessed that I knew what I was doing. So why is it that you're working out so hard? 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face? The others are working out just as hard as you do, and they look sour in the face. Why is that? In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. Every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision, turn into reality. Every single set that I do, every repetition, every weight that I lift will get me a step closer to turn this goal into reality. I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound squat. I couldn't wait to do another 2,000 reps of sit-ups. All the kind of things that you have to do to be a champion. At the age of 20, I went to London and I won the Mr. Universe contest as the youngest Mr. Universe ever. It was the same in acting. And so I had this in my mind, and I would do it over and over again until we got it. And the same thing is also in politics. I remember that in politics, I had a very clear vision that I will be the leader of California.
We have tough choices ahead.
This is as far as I could go because I was not born in America, so I could not run for president.
For the people to win, politics as usual must lose.
So even though people came up to me and says, why don't you go and run for something smaller? You're never gonna make it. I ran for governor, and then 2 months later I became governor of the state of California. So that's rule number 1, have a vision. Rule number 2 is don't listen to the naysayers. Everything I ever did, the thing that I heard out of people's mouth was, that's impossible. That can't be done. I remember when I wanted to be a bodybuilding champion, including my parents and everyone else around me, said this is impossible. Well, I'm going to be the one. I said to myself, I'm going to do it and I'm going to show it to them.
Shall we rebuild our state together, or shall we fight amongst ourselves?
And I did not listen to the naysayers. This is no one in Hollywood ever has become a leading man that had an accent. This is the kind of thing that I heard. Imagine. You go from studio executive to studio executive, from agent to agent, from manager to manager, and they all said exactly the same thing. It's very encouraging, isn't it? And it's very important to understand that we function better if there is no safety net. That means that you start thinking about plan B, and every thought that you put into plan B, you're taking away now that thought and that energy from plan A. It's very dangerous to have a plan B because you're cutting yourself off. There's no one that doesn't fail. We all fail. What is not okay is that when you fail, you stay down. Whoever stays down is a loser. I failed in bodybuilding. I lost powerlifting competitions. I lost weightlifting competitions. I had movies that went in the toilet and that were terrible, got the worst reviews. And in politics, I remember I had many of the initiatives on the ballot and we lost. My approval rating in California went down to 28%. Because when you're afraid of losing, then you get frozen, you get stiff, you're not relaxed. In order to perform well in anything is only happening when you relax. So relax. Let's just go all out and give it everything that you got. We have so many doubters, as I've said earlier, the no-sayers. We have so many of those people that say no and you can't do it, it's impossible. But you know something? I didn't give a shit. But I didn't listen to those losers. It's all about the hard work that you put in.
The key thing is you have this in you, that desire to grow, or you don't. Because that's where it all begins.
Born in 1947 in Austria after the Second World War. Father wanted me to become a police officer like he was. My vision was totally different. I felt that I was born for something special, for something unique, for something big. Because there's 6 rules basically that always have laid out that are the rules of success.
But I want to reach to that little village where the poorest of the poorest people is. If they can watch this and they see ordinary folks can make it. You know, I want to inspire those people there and say, you can do it.
This is one of my 6 rules to success. You can only feel complete if you think about what can you do for your fellow member around you that maybe needs help. I felt like that everyone has a different motivation. I was an immigrant going to America. The bodybuilders in the gym brought me plates to my apartment because I had no plates, I had no silverware, I had no bedware, I had no pillows, I had no blanket, I had no TV, I had no radio, I had nothing. They helped me. And I said to myself that I need to go and make sure that I give something back. I'm a bodybuilder, what can I do? When I saw Special Olympics, that I can help and train Special Olympians. I proposed to them to start powerlifting in Special Olympics. To have deadlift, which was a safe thing to do, and to have bench press, which was a safe thing to do. And I became the national trainer and the international trainer of Special Olympics. And I tell you, I felt so good. I felt better than winning a bodybuilding competition, going to one of their competitions and seeing 100 of those athletes from all over the world competing in powerlifting and being happy, being included, being felt that they're equal to all of us. The more I got into that, the more I realized how good it feels to give something back. So as you know, it becomes addictive. Every day, we are benefiting from someone helping us. That's why I said earlier, there's no such thing as a self-made man. I mean, when you think about it, you're born and you need your parents to raise you. You need your teachers to teach you. You need your coaches to do sports. And so when I think about of the people that helped me, I remember that everything I did always needed help. I did not get to that point by myself.
Because, you know, when you're young, it was all about me. As you get older, it becomes, how can we all be successful? Everyone said to me all the time, forget it, you will never make it. This is what it's all about, is inspiring everybody. Training is part of my life. Nothing will ever change until I die.